Hello, my name is Samantha Susai, and I'm reporting my week-long observation from Farmers Loop Road, north of Fairbanks, Alaska. My dates of observations range from October 29th, 2012 to November 2nd, 2012. My first day of observation happened at 22:30 p.m., while the rest of my observations happened from 10:30 a.m. to 1300 p.m. My NSW location is the Fairbanks International Airport, or PAFA. My first day of observation happened on October 29th, 2012 at 22:30 p.m. At the time, the temperature was 11.2 to 11.9 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 11.2 to negative 11.6 degrees Celsius. There was full cloud cover of white and streaky clouds. It was also snowing lightly. My max for the day was 17.8 to 18 degrees Fahrenheit, with a minimum of 5 to 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit. October 30th's observation was taken at 1300 p.m. with a current temperature of 14 to 14.4 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 9.7 to negative 10 degrees Celsius. The max temperatures were 40.4 to 41.3 degrees Fahrenheit and a minimum of negative 3.3 to negative 3.9 degrees Fahrenheit. My maximum temperatures were so high because without realizing it, the ends of the digital temperatures were actually sitting in the sun. The clouds covered about 3/4 of the sky with high white streaky clouds, with a strong breeze coming from the northwest. It ranged on a Beaufort scale of a 6, with snow being blown from the trees and from the roof. My third day of observation was on Halloween Day. This day had current temperatures of 16.8 to 17 degrees Fahrenheit, with a negative 8.3 to negative 8.4 degrees Celsius. There was no wind, with a Beaufort scale of 0. Again, there was white streaky clouds covering the entire sky. There was no precipitation at my time of observation, which was at 11:30 a.m. The max temperatures were at 16.9 to 17 degrees Fahrenheit and a minimum of 6.4 to 7 degrees Fahrenheit. The 1st of November brought current temperatures at 11:40 a.m. of 4 to 4.4 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 15.3 to negative 15.6 degrees Celsius. It was very still outside with no wind and clear skies. The sun was shining bright and there was no precipitation. The maximum temperature was 16.7 to 16.8 degrees Fahrenheit, with a minimum of 1 to 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. My last and final day of observation was November 2nd, 2012 at 10:32 a.m. The current temperature was negative 9.6 to negative 9.7 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 23.1 degrees Celsius. A quarter of the sky was covered in white, high streaking clouds, with again no wind and no precipitation. The final maximum was at negative 3.6 to negative 4.1 degrees Fahrenheit, while the minimums were negative 11.1 to negative 12.2 degrees Fahrenheit. It looks like my current temperatures weren't too off from the NWS temperatures, though some of the NWS temperatures didn't stay within my maximum or minimum temperatures on some days. It looks though as it weren't doing too bad with getting too cold until we hit the weekend. However, on the 30th and the 1st we dropped into the negatives at the night. Unfortunately, my barometric pressure didn't match up at all with the NWS forecast. It hadn't occurred to me that I didn't recalibrate my pressure meter until after the week was over. According to the pressure reading from the NWS forecast, it looks as if we did a little zigzag with the pressure this week. We started with 1,014 millibars on the 29th, and we jumped up to 1,017 millibars on the 30th. Then we were back down to around 1,014 millibars on the 31st of October, while the pressure jumped all the way up on the 1st of November to about 1,020 millibars, and then way back down to 1,006 millibars on the 2nd. Now I'm going to go over some TV weather maps from the October 26th to November 2nd, 2012. Here, on Friday, October 26, 2012, we see that majority of Alaska is covered with dark gray clouds. There are some clear skies along the southern and western coastlines. Right along the border of Canada and Alaska, we see two high-pressure systems ranging from 1,035 millibars to 1,040 millibars. These high-pressure systems are bringing snow and snow showers with them. To the south, we see an occlude front making its way into the Gulf of Alaska, and with it we see a low-pressure system of 979 millibars. To the northwest, we find a warm front occupied by a cold front. The warm front is making its way east while the cold front is heading into the eastern part of Alaska. Saturday, October 27th, has partial clouds all over Alaska. Those high pressure systems have moved further into Canada to the west. The warm and cold fronts from the north have moved their way into Alaska with the warm front really close to Fairbanks. This time, the fronts are being followed by an occlude front, and the trio brings snow and rain into the northern and eastern half of Alaska. The occlude front from the south has made its way into the Gulf and brought the lower pressure system with it. October 28th has full cloud coverage all over Alaska, except for some parts in the Aleutian Chain and along the southwestern coastlines. One of the high pressure systems that has stayed right along the border of Alaska and Canada, bringing plenty of snow with it. The trio fronts have made their way back into the west and sit to the northwest of Alaska, where more snow is falling. To the southeast, we see a low pressure system that is being accompanied by a couple of cold fronts and a warm front. These fronts are bringing plenty of rain with them. Monday, the 29th, gives us complete cloud cover over Alaska with a little window over parts of the Aleutian Chain. There is a massive cold front that goes right through the middle of Alaska and right through Fairbanks. This cold front brings us lots of snow with it. At the northern end of the cold front is a low pressure system reading 1008 millibars. At the southern end, it flows into a warm front and back into a cold front. In the southern part of Alaska, we see another low pressure system reading 1009 millibars. That same high pressure system is still sitting right next to the Canada border, reading of 1022 millibars, and is accompanied by another high pressure system reading 1022 millibars as well. Tuesday, October 30th, we see complete cloud cover with a low pressure system along the southern coastline reading at 997 millibars. This low pressure system goes off into the warm front to the east and then a cold front that swirls down into the Gulf of Alaska. We see plenty of snow that is spreading out all over Alaska as well. Halloween Day has complete cloud coverage with snow showers that follow the southern coastline. They are accompanied by a low pressure system of 996 millibars, and all previous cold and warm fronts have seemed to have moved on, just leaving Alaska with cold, cloudy, and plenty of snow. The 1st of November lets up on some cloud coverage, but only in the southern parts of Alaska. There are still plenty of snow showers. They have just moved further down into the Aleutian Chain and over into Canada. In the Gulf of Alaska, there's an occlude front that is being accompanied by a low pressure system of 958 millibars. It's bringing lots of rain and some snow with the creating of a storm. Friday, November 2nd, 2012, again has complete cloud covered with snow all along the southern coastline and down into the Aleutian Chain. The high pressure system right next to Canada border is back and has a reading of 1028 millibars. And a cold front is coming in from the north and is heading right through the middle of Alaska. The occlude front creating a storm in the Gulf of Alaska is now being accompanied by a slight warm front and ending in a cold front. Both fronts bringing lots of rain. Now I am going to go over some GOES images for November 2nd, 2012. As you see in the TV weather map, there's a storm sitting in the Gulf of Alaska. Here the storm has an occlude front that is creating a swirling effect in the clouds. And if you look into the infrared image, we see that same cloud formation. Continuing on to the visible GOES image, we see that the cloud formation really pops out in this one, showing that swirl in the Gulf of Alaska of the storm, and the tail that it goes up into the southern part of Alaska and falls along the coastline down into Juneau. The water vapor image shows the nice amount of snow and rain that we got with that storm. All the way down into the Aleutian Chain and making that swirling effect with the mixture of the rain and the snow.